Hello, everybody. We got a big blowout of Halo Infinite coverage, so let's get into it. We're starting off with IGN first, who had their big gameplay impressions. So let's get into it. In the opening of the campaign, the Banished defeat a large portion of the UNSC. Atriox is confirmed from the game as Sam and Estrom are the main adversaries for Chief. The creative storyline takes a backseat to the Banished, but it is intertwined somehow. Few moments of Chief and Cortana relationship was an emotional gut punch. Halo Infinite is not in a true open world campaign. In comparison to, it's compared to things like the Batman Arkham series and Metal Gear Solid. Next up, the landmasses can be connected by bridges, so maybe we can fully explore them once it's unlocked. Speaking of which, once unlocked, you could call in the Wasp, so you could just fly around. Next up, the ring is littered with forward bases that were claimed by the Banished. Capturing it replaces it with Marines where you can call in basic weapon. Clearing them unlocks Valor. Don't worry, not a currency. They also become fast travel points. We saw all that in the menus in the flight. Early on, you call in basic weapons, vehicles, and Marines. Later, can call in the heavy stuff like Scorpions and rocket launchers. The Valor reclaiming the broken ring might be optional. It's encouraged though for the sake of mission management, especially on harder difficulties like Legendary. No fetch quests, so none of that you would usually see in open world games. The weapon is found to be charming, rather not annoying. Much like Cortana did in Halo 1, calls out noteworthy objectives and text and UNSC distress calls. You can leave the optional stuff to the Banished. Those are abundant, not overwhelming, and they do not punish you at all. You can find secret rooms and mount sites while it's the Banished clear. You get rare, unique gear, like variations of weapons that you will find throughout the game. There are collectibles though. They're like skulls, audio logs, and armor for the multiplayer scanner tool. Is useful, but limited use. Audio logs help fill out the gaps in the story because there's both UNSC and Banished audio logs. I am maybe some Forerunner stuff too, since we're on Zeta Halo. Time will tell. The Marine and Grunt dialogue are really hilarious. Once you rescue Marines, they get more confident and are excited to get action once you save them. Killing enemies and destroying their things are the core of the gameplay, so no puzzles or any of that. Weapons we did not see in the multiplayer were here, like the Disruptor and the Center Shot. You could, I remember in the flight, there was like a glitch you can use, but it's not exactly, it was not, automatic where, by nature you had to go through some kind of trickery. There are 4 ammo types: kinetic, plasma, shock, and hardlight. You could find plenty of ammo through weapon crates for each type of ammo. Equipment upgrades come from spark cores. You get these from dead bodies, much like Doom 2016, which, is Infinite copied a lot from it, so, You get each equipment throughout the big story moments. The grapple shot is the first, which is a given because we've seen that in the opening of the game. So, the person who played for IGN, they played it on heroic for the most part. Big story moments are in large structures like dungeons. The Flood was what's this? The Flood was alluded to, but no Prometheans were present in the game, at least far as IGN knows. But I have a good feeling they're not going to be at this point, considering there's been no mention of them at all, so I have a good feeling they're not going to be in. But hey, I say that's a huge win, considering that they were pretty boring to fight in both Halo 4 and Halo 5. So, 343's made it clear that the skimmers that we saw in the campaign overview, they are not the final new enemy type. The map isn't as big as Red Dead, but it's akin to the Batman Arkham games, like I said before. Now let's go to Gameinformer now. So this is their video now. So let's get into it. So they're doing coverage all month long. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I messed up. We're going over the highlights of the big media blowout today, so let's start first with IGN first. In the opening of the campaign, It starts with the Banished defeating a large portion of the UNSC, and it seems that the Infinity is seemingly destroyed. So, more on. I'm going to cover the cover story later on. So, Atriox and Estrom are the main adversaries. The created storyline takes a backseat to the Banished, but it is intertwined somehow. The few moments of Chief and Cortana relationship in the beginning of the game was an emotional gun punch. Halo Infinite is not a true open world campaign. It's compared to things like the Batman. It's compared to the Batman Arkham series and Metal Gear. The essentially how Zeta Halo works is like how the open world works is that it's kind of like there's these land masses, these islands, and you can fully connect them by bridges. So maybe we can fully explore each island once we fully unlock them. And speaking of which, you can call in a Wasp to fly around after you unlock it. The ring littered with forward bases that were claimed by the Banished, but once you capture them, it replaces the Banished forces with Marines. Cleared bases unlock Valor. Don't worry, it is not a currency, and also becomes fast travel points. Early on, you call in basic weapons, vehicles, and Marines. But later on in the game, you can call in heavier stuff like scorpions and rocket launchers, etc. Valor and Reclaiming Ring might be optional. It's encouraged for the sake of mission management. No fetch quests. So no Assassin's Creed nonsense. So I know that was a big worry, but worry not, that is not the case. The weapon is found to be charming, not annoying. Calls out noteworthy objectives and attacks and just distress signals, much like, Cortana in Halo Combat Evolved. You can leave the optional stuff to the Banished. Those are better, not overwhelming, but they are encouraged, as getting stuff from those will help you out with mission management. You can find secret rooms in the mountainsides. Once you collect the Banished guarding them, you get rare unique gear. Collectibles are things like skulls, audio logs, and armor for multiplayer. There is a scanning tool to help you find them. That is very useful, but once you know where to look. But the range is limited, so it's not a free getaway card. Audio logs help fill out gaps in the story, so UNSC, Banished, audio logs, you get the idea. Maybe some foreigner stuff too, since we're on Zeta Halo after all. The Marine and Grunt dialogue are really hilarious and well written. That's great to hear. Marines were more confident and excited to get in on the action once you save them from Banished forces. Killing enemies and destroying their things are the core of the gameplay, so no puzzles or any of that. Weapons we did not see in the multiplayer were here, like the Disruptor and the Cindershot. They were in the flight files, but you had to essentially glitch custom games in order to access them. For ammo types, kinetic, plasma, shock, hard light, those are the 4 ammo types. There are ammo crates for those throughout the world, so once you find them, you can stock up on ammo. Equipment upgrades come from Spartan cores you get from dead Spartan bodies, much like how Doom 2016 did its upgrade for Doomslayer. You get each equipment through big story moments. Grapple Shot is the first one, as we can see, Chief seemingly already has it in Discover Hope. The person for IGN played on Heroic for the most part. They did play a little on normal still, and they noted that when it came to boss fights on that difficulty, they still got their butts kicked, so Flood was alluded to, but no Prometheans were present, so I wouldn't be surprised if Prometheans are gone. At least that's the vibe I get from it. Scammers are not the final new enemy type, so that's exciting. The map isn't as big as Red Dead, but it akin to the Batman Arkham series and Metal Gear Solid. Like I said before, now let's go to Gameinformer. So Gameinformer has a cover story. So I'll get into that in another video. I'll cover some stuff from that as well, because like I said, we got a long way to go in terms of information here, boys. So, like I said, and not IGN, but I guess both IGN and Gameinformer is going to be doing more content all month long. So, like Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, he's going to be interviewing Joseph Staten, and it seems like Gameinformer is doing the same thing, so with their coverage as well. So, get ready, boys. So, it's a great time. So, it's definitely a great time. Oh, and Gameinformer also published another short video besides this one that essentially showed the first area first opening mission of the campaign. So if you don't care for spoilers, go check it out. So I'll drop a link to that below in the description. And anyways, then this is Halo Gaming. What do you think of all this new media blowout? It seems like, get ready, boys, we're in full hype mode. Just a little under 4 weeks until the game comes out. Until next time, I'll see you guys next video. Bye.